Howdy folks, something slightly different for you today. This is a little game that was highly recommended to me by Ike, the King of Norway, on Quickie Baby's World of Tanks livestream. It's called Darkest Dungeon. It's available on Steam. It is an early access game, but it seems like the majority of the game is already in place, and you can get it for around about 14 of Her Majesty's finest pounds and 99 pence, adjusted for whichever currency you use wherever you are. It's a dungeon crawler, but it's one of the most sadistically evil dungeon crawling games I have ever seen. This is not like Diablo, where you plough your way through armies of enemies and the game showers you with loot. Oh no, this is hard.
Brigands have run up these lanes. Keep to the side path. The hamlet is just ahead.
You're going to learn to hate the narrator. He is such a miserable git.
Dispatch this thug in brutal fashion, that all may hear of your arrival.
Alright. You start off with 2 heroes, of which at the moment there are 10 different hero classes available in the game. So my highwayman goes for a bleed attack on him. Ow, that was painful. Yeah, typical. He resists my bleed. I don't resist his. Ah!
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Okay.
A devastating blow.
Oh, shut up. What you're seeing here is one of the more interesting of the game's mechanics in play. You see, heroes don't just have that red health bar. Underneath that is a stress bar, and if that thing tops up...
Leave nothing unchecked. There is much to be found in forgotten places.
then they will basically wig out and lose control.
An ambush. Send these vermin a message. The rightful owner has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome.
So when bad things happen to your heroes, that little bar fills up. When good things happen, it goes down. Ow, that was bad. Ah, that was not good either. His attack is now forced into swap position, and that's going to affect the kind of attacks that they can actually unleash. Going to go for a pommel stomp, stun that guy in front. And I'll try to... There we go. Good. Oh, he's resisted the bleed. Typical. Aha! There's so much RNG involved in these fights. You're going to learn to... Oh, God, no, he dodged it. You see what I mean? Oh. Ah, okay, well, could have been worse. Dodged one of them. Now, come on, let's open a vein. There we go. Yes, and now he's bleeding. Fantastic. Oh, somebody's going to get shot. That's not good. And that's forced them to change position back to the way I wanted it, so great. Crusader in the front. Hit him with your sword. Nice solid hit. And he's bleeding. I don't think he's bleeding enough, though. So we'll finish it off.
Not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Oh, a crit. And that's... yeah, he doesn't like that.
Give them no quarter.
But we did it. I don't know why I'm getting so excited. This is only the tutorial. Oh, hang on. Chest's trapped. Do I really want the Crusader? No. Let's get the highwayman to pick the lock. And he fails. And he gets blighted. But we're done. We're done. It's not a big deal. We've made it. And lots of fat loot. So, we've made it into the town. Now, these guys have leveled up, and the highwayman has picked up a trait, which increases his ranged attack. Oh, fantastic. Completely useless. Anyway, let's go to town.
Welcome home, such as it is. This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now, and you are bound to them.
He's a cheerful bugger, isn't he? Anyway, the town. This is your base of operations when you're playing the game. This is where you're going to come to recruit fresh heroes, bury your dead, and you're going to be burying a lot of heroes in the graveyard.
Most will end up here, covered in the poisoned earth, awaiting merciful oblivion.
I don't know about you, but that narrator is not inspiring me with confidence. Speaking of heroes, this is where you recruit fresh ones. The stagecoach.
Women and men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses. All will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
Makes it sound like it's my fault. Anyway. Now with the loot that we got from the tutorial, we can start upgrading some of the facilities in the town.
Great heroes can be found even here, in the mud and rain.
Listen to this guy. So, we've got our first 2 fresh
A
heroes.
sister of battle, pious and unrelenting.
1 Plague Doctor, and 1 Vestal Virgin. You can check out the various different stats of your heroes here, and the various different positive and negative traits that they have. Old Reynold the Crusader is a bit of a kleptomaniac, and he's God-fearing, so you can only relieve stress, which is going to be very important. So Reynold the Crusader can only relieve stress by prayer, and Dismas is a known cheat, so he's not allowed to gamble in the tavern. So that limits your options for getting your heroes back into fighting shape after you've been doing these dungeon crawls. Anyway, at the moment there's absolutely nothing we can do to relieve the stress that Reynold and Dismas, the Crusader and Highwayman, have accumulated in the tutorial, because we don't yet have the facilities available.
A mecca of madness and morbidity. Your work begins.
He makes it sound like such an inviting prospect, doesn't he? Right, we're going into the ruins because we need some loot. Now you can see here from the character sheet, both the preferred position there in the party that the character likes to occupy, and also the preferred targets that they like to go for. Okay, so the Vestal Virgin can go anywhere, but the Plague Doctor likes being at the back. Right, now we're going to need to stock up on some provisions.
The cost of preparedness, measured now in gold, later in blood.
Captain Cheerful there. Always looks on the bright side, doesn't he? Anyway, we're going to need stuff. We're going to need food. We're going to need bandages to stop bleeding. We're going to need torches so we can see where we're going. Anything else is optional, often desirable, but not 100% necessary.
The fiends must be driven back. And what better place to begin than the seat of our noble line?
Right, here we go. From the starting room, pick which room you want to move to next. And then you just have to make it there without dying. Hey, loot! Now, the torches that we're carrying... Oh, hang on, more loot. I don't trust it. We'll get the Highwayman to have a look. Oh, yeah. It's not trapped. Wow, the game's being incredibly generous. You notice the light meter at the top of the screen there? Oh, that's right. Ah, no, that's not good. Our characters are getting slightly creeped out because the torches are not at full illumination. Alright, nothing in this room. That's good, believe it or not. So we've cleared one of the rooms. In order to complete this particular dungeon, we have to, you can see it in the top of the screen there, complete 100% of all room battles. So we're moving on to the next room. There was no battle in the first room. That's good. We didn't have to kill anything. But as the light fades, everybody starts getting more and more creeped out. That's right, my adventurers are wusses. They don't like the dark. So the light actually plays an important role. The darker it gets, the faster their stress meter fills up, and the more likely the chance that they're going to get surprised and ambushed. But the better the loot that they'll find. So here's my first proper room battle. Now that terrifying goblet attack is actually, doesn't do a lot of damage, but it's massively raising the stress level of whoever gets hit by it because it's terrifying. So already my Vestal Virgin is starting to lose it. The order in which your party lines up is actually very, very important. The Plague Doctor just hit their spellcaster with an attack that forces him to the front of the queue.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Which did two things. It stopped him from using his most dangerous abilities, because he has to be at the back of the pack for that to happen, and it allowed the Crusader to smack him in the face with his sword. So, that was nice. So, positioning is very, very important. Whenever you mouse over a hero's ability, it'll... Ow. Oh, that hurt. Oh, that didn't do me any good either. And it's forced the Highwayman and Vestal Virgin to change positions. And stunned the Highwayman, so yeah, great. Anyway, the Plague Doctor's turn. Now, when I mouse over his abilities, the yellow and red circles indicate where in my party he has to be standing to use that ability, and which bad guys he can hit with it. And they keep hitting the Vestal Virgin with Terrifying Goblet. She is going to lose it if we don't put a stop to this. She's just managed to hit that guy with an ability that debuffs his chance to hit and the damage that he does when he does hit. Crusader smacks him in the chops, and then he hits her with an ability that forces her to swap positions with a Highwayman and stuns her. So the stun's not good, but swapping positions is great because that's basically put them right back to where I wanted them in the first place. Terrifying Goblet again. They go for the Plague Doctor. Well, could have been worse. At least they're not focusing on the Vestal Virgin. Now, the Highwaymans just regained a bit of morale there by killing one of the bad guys. Highwayman's abilities, he does a lot of bleeds. Bleeds don't affect undead. The Plague Doctor's blights, on the other hand, do. Vestal Virgins come out of her stun, and now she's buffed against future stuns.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
It's good that the Highwayman and the Crusader are recovering morale. Hey, there we go at last.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
But yeah, it's the Vestal Virgin and the Plague Doctor who are the most stressed out, so we... Oh, typical. The chest was trapped. Oh, great. Anyway, we have to complete 100% of room battles. On to the next room, I guess. Ah! Highwayman didn't like that. Right, what do we got? Well, we're at least going first. Now, these guys are not undead, so I can go for a bleed, or I can try and hit more of them with... yeah, we'll do that. That was worth it. Hit 2 out of the 3 of them. Plague Doctor. We're going to try to go for some stuns here. Yeah, one of them resisted, one of them got stunned. Happy with that. Ah! Oh, that's not good. They've got a blanket fire ability that hits everybody. And we've managed to debuff him. He's now no longer stunned. Come on, Reynard. Hit him in the face with your sword. Their turn. Ah, no, that's not good. And they've put a bleed on her. Oh, jeez. That's nasty. Right, I need to do something about that bleed. Oh, will you stop doing that? Yes, this is less than good. No, no, they did it again. That is an evil attack. I need to get rid of those guys fast. Okay, good. Again, the guys that don't actually have any stress are the ones who keep recovering the stress. No! Ah, damn it. Right, I need to do something about this bleeding. Okay. Using a bandage is the simplest and easiest way. The Plague Doctor also has an ability that stops bleeds, but it wasn't his turn. I think I probably need a heal. Yeah. Right. Oh god, he's... jeez, he keeps doing maximum damage every time he does that. It's not looking too good, is it? Come on, stun. Yes, he didn't resist it. Take him out. Please don't do blanket fire again. He did blanket fire again. I hate him. His stun's now worn off. I definitely need another heal here. That was a good heal. Okay, that's what we want to see. Plague Doctor. Plague Doctor. Are we going to blight them, or are we going to try to debuff them? Battlefield medicine. Nobody's really bleeding or blighted. I could stun one, or I could just... Oh, that was a good damage roll. And he's now blighted, but he's not... The poison is basically going to kill him before he gets his next go, so I'll just hit him in the face with the sword. And good damage roll, and now he's bleeding. Now, the bleed isn't going to kill him before his next go. Ow. So I need to take advantage of this and use whatever heals I have, because you can't heal unless you're in combat. Why? Because the game's evil. Heal up as much as I can, and then kill this guy. Oh, you have got to be kidding. Ah, no wait. Ah, the bleed did get him. Well, that was a bit lucky. Yeah, it's getting a bit dark here. Let's light another torch. Oh, found a spare torch. Hooray. The Highwayman really does not like the dark. His stress meter's starting to creep up the darker it gets. Oh, okay, so we have a mixture of undead and cultists. Stressful incantation. Only does 1 damage. Does a metric buttload of stress, however. Plague Doctor's not looking very cheerful. What to do? Oh, no. Both dodged. The RNG in this game is going to have you throwing your keyboard out of the window. I think I'm just going to concentrate on healing for... no, leave her alone. Don't shoot her. Who to hit? Doesn't really matter at this stage, they're both on full health. That was a good hit. Now, for my Highwayman's next attack, ideally, I'd have hit that cultist first, because then the Highwayman could hit him and put a bleed on him. Undead always resist bleeds, but that undead is the one who's damaged. We really need to finish him off. So, I don't really have a choice. I need to hit that guy. Now, he's only moved back to the 2nd rank, which means I can still hit him, and a good damage roll. There's now one of them less attacking us. And that's not good. Again, these things don't do a lot of damage, but now it's forced Reynald all the way back to the 3rd rank. And he can't hit anything from there. Typical. More worryingly, it's forced the Vestal Virgin into the 2nd rank, and she can't heal anything from there. She has to be in the 3rd or 4th rank to actually cast heals. So we're just going to have to go on the offensive. Good damage roll, but she resists the debuff. All I can do with Reynald from here is move him forward. If you don't do anything, they take morale damage. About to break. A crit. She's now at death's door. Anytime she takes damage while she's at death's door, she can die. Permanently. You never get her back, okay? There are no resurrection spells in this game. So we need to get her healed up as soon as. But she is at least back in a normal position. Oh, that was a good stab. So she can now cast a heal. But I'm not going to take any chances. The Plague Doctor Battlefield Medicine only heals 1 hit point, but 1 is all I need just to not be on death's door. Okay, now Reynald's in the 2nd rank. He can at least hit something. The undead crossbowman is stunned, so we're going to go for try and finish off this cultist. My Vestal, back in the correct position, can now start using a heal. She's no longer in immediate danger of dying. What to do? Go for a blight on the undead at the back. Yep. We're not out of the woods yet. Bayonet jab. Yeah, 2 damage. Not a problem. Come on, Reynald. Oh, no. Come on, Dismas. Oh, you beauty. Oh, they like that. They definitely like that. They recovered a hell of a lot of morale there. Come on. It's debuffed him. So he's going to have reduced accuracy and reduced damage. And she's got another go. Come on, finish him off. Yes, that's my girl.
This expedition at least promises success.
Oh, he's sounding remarkably uncharacteristically cheerful for a change, isn't he? Oh, it would be trapped, wouldn't it? Oh, but she resisted the blight. Oh, quest complete. Still 3 rooms that we haven't investigated.
Room by room, hall by hall, we reclaim what is ours.
Once your quest's complete, get the hell out of there. Don't take chances. You will regret it. What do we got? Another ranged ability for a guy who has no ranged attacks. Fantastic. Oh. Yeah. Okay, so mostly good stuff from that very first dungeon that I've done.
There is a great horror beneath the manor. A crawling chaos that must be destroyed.
I love that guy. He's so cheerful. Anyway, first proper quest complete has now unlocked a bunch of new stuff in the town, which we can now start using to treat our heroes' various different afflictions. As you can see here, my plague doctor, he's not feeling very good. But he will not pray. So, okay.
The cobwebs have been dusted, the pews set straight. The Abbey calls to the faithful.
So, there are two different buildings in the town that you can use to relieve stress. The Abbey or the Tavern. Now, a plague doctor won't pray because he's got the faithless trait. But that's not too bad, because meditation in the cloister at the top there, which is where we're putting the Vestal Virgin, is the cheapest way of relieving stress in the Abbey. Now in the Tavern,
fresh kegs, cards, and curtained rooms promise solace to the weary and broken alike.
you can drink, you can gamble, or you can enjoy the brothel.
With enough ale, maybe they can be inured against the horrors below.
Now, another one of the many ways that the game tries to screw you over is that it always has the caretaker occupying one of these stress relief positions. Now, if the caretaker is using the prayer slot in the Abbey, for example, well, remember Reynald the Crusader can only recover stress through prayer. You can imagine how annoying that gets. This game just goes out of its way to wind you up. I love it. Now, as you complete and clear various other different dungeons, you will unlock the other buildings in the town. There is, for example, a blacksmith that will allow you to upgrade and improve your hero's weapons and equipment. There is a adventurer's guild which will allow you to modify and purchase and upgrade new skills for your adventurers. There's also a sanitarium where you can have your adventurers locked up for a week in order to have them cured of some of the more aggravating traits that they've picked up, like the Crusader's inability to relieve stress anywhere other than in prayer in the Abbey. But here's the catch, and this is the genius of the game. In order to cure your heroes of the various different ailments and afflictions and an all-round depression of constantly going into these dungeons and being assaulted by monsters in the dark, you have to send them back into the dungeons. In order to earn the money that you need to... You can see where this is going, can't you? This game is evil. It's also brutally hard. And trust me, when that graveyard starts filling up with all your favourite adventurers... and you can't save your progress and go back. No. Things are not that easy. The game is constantly auto-saving your progress as you go through. So if you make a bad decision, or if the dice just fall the wrong way, and one of your favourite adventurers kicks the bucket, they're gone for good. The game's about how you deal with adversity. It's not like other dungeon crawlers like Diablo or Torchlight, where it's all about completing the dungeon and accumulating the most loot. It's about knowing when is the best time to cut your losses and run. The game is constantly testing how far you're prepared to push your luck, how many risks are you prepared to take in order to get the quest complete and clear that dungeon. And you have nobody to blame but yourself if your heroes are all at their wits' end. They're bleeding from every orifice, but you just need to get that one last room cleared, and oh dear, how bad, so sad, they're all dead, or they've gone insane. And the game constantly saves its progress. There is no going back to an earlier saved position. It is evil, and I love it. I can state with quite some confidence that I don't think I've ever had as much fun playing a game where I'm just failing miserably. I've never made it past week 9 in this game yet without all of my adventurers either filling up the graveyard or just cowering in the corner of the tavern, gibbering at shadows. scared out of their wits and refusing point blank to step foot in another dungeon again. That's just the kind of game it is. I could definitely recommend it. This is Darkest Dungeon, available on Steam Early Access for a very reasonable price. I've certainly enjoyed playing it, and I hope you guys do as well. As always, folks, take care, and I'll catch you next time.